Good evening. I hope some of you are old enough to remember the London riots of July 2011. I remember exactly where I was because one of the people who worked for my business knew somebody who was organising these riots. And quite often, all urban riots and things have been orchestrated by people with ulterior means, but these people were found to have done that. But I remember sitting in a bar in Clapham, where I lived in London, and I was sitting there having a drink and just thinking, I've never felt this level of national shame. And they destroyed London. Don't get me wrong, they did a number on it, but nothing like what's been done on any of the major cities in the US. Nothing like that. But they did riot, they did take everything they could. Unfortunately, in my area and many others, they destroyed, family-owned businesses, new businesses. Lots of people lost out. Lots of people couldn't afford to reopen. It was horrible. And it was all kids doing whatever they want. And to put this riot into context, a man who had just been released from prison for dealing cocaine and suspected of having a firearm was met by the armed police, where there was a standoff. Now, he wouldn't take what looked like a gun out of his pocket when they demanded him to. And they had heard a tip that he was back selling drugs and holding a gun. So they waited for a while and they said, if you don't show us your hands, we will have to shoot you. So he refused to do that, point blank. They shot him. In his hand was the gun and the cocaine. But his mother spun him into some kind of Robin Hood type character, and the media bought it, and they bought that story because it was a left-leaning story, and it was talking about London's poverty of black people, whereas in fact, although black people may be in poverty in London, that is I think now that's mainly a choice, because black people are the majority of London and they're not all in poverty. There's a lot of black people who are wealthy in this country. Well, we don't have systemic racism. So yeah, for the first time, being black British is the highest, whatever you can get in terms of, national capital. We're the most diverse. We have more diverse people in our capital than any capital city than any in any country in the world. And then we get people just disrespecting it and trampling on it. And I'll give an example of a place that used to do really good eggs. Fantastic. It was all about eggs. It was like omelettes, breakfast dishes, American breakfast. It was a breakfast bar, but they did such wonderful things with eggs, and they were always full. Every single Sunday they were full. But they were near to the train station in Clapham, where they were looted. But I actually walked down there and took pictures of them and sent them to the police. I don't know if that helped them or not, but I took pictures because I saw people just loading their car up with screen TVs and things like that. And then when I came down, my favourite place for breakfast was boarded up. I managed to get hold of the manager eventually, and he'd had to show up. He didn't have the money to renovate after what they'd done to his tiny, small individual restaurant that only opened for breakfast and was famous. So I can't really see how now that would seem like a moderate Monday in the world. In the Western world, that would be a moderate Monday. So I'll leave you with that sobering thought. We have come far from where we should be, and we need to go back using traditional standard family values: respect, manners, integrity, decency, and common sense and logic. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you like the video, please do subscribe and share it. If not, I have many more coming, and I will see you there. Thank you for listening to this problem with being awake. If you liked it, please do click the like button and the subscribe button to get more similar content. And if you really like it, share it with a friend. That'd be great. I don't do this for money. I do it for a cause. So your support would be much appreciated. Thank you once again. Have a good day and be blessed.